Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here, and today's video is going to be all about RuneScape burnout. So if you're seeing this video today, I probably won't have a video up for a few days, just letting you guys know because it's my birthday tomorrow. I figured I'd take a break for a few days, but maybe I won't, I don't know yet. It just depends how I feel, I guess. But I really wanted to get this video out because I thought it was going to be an interesting topic. But if you don't see a video for a few days, that's why. So RuneScape burnout, what is RuneScape burnout? Well, a lot of us, probably all of us, have experienced a feeling. We're playing RuneScape a ton, we're having a blast, nothing can beat that feeling. It's so much fun when you're so engaged and you just want to play, but with that will eventually come a burnout. But how do you avoid this burnout, or how do you deal with this burnout when you get it? I'm sure you've all experienced this when you log in and you sit there and you stare blankly and you don't really know what to do and you log out, or you just don't have any motivation. It can happen no matter what. It doesn't mean that you're gonna quit RuneScape forever, because let's be honest, not many people actually quit RuneScape. It's pretty hard to quit RuneScape. It's kind of a meme at this point, but I've been playing this game for 10 plus, not even 10 plus years, 15, 16 plus years, so it's pretty, I don't think I'll ever see a day without RuneScape. Well, maybe in like 40 years, but right now I just don't see it. It's kind of a comfort thing to a lot of people. It's something they've had in their lives for a long time, something they can go back to, like an old show that you love rewatching. It's just really nice, and this show actually gets updated with new things, usually. So how do you deal with this burnout? Well, the burnout can come from a few different things. It could just be from playing a lot, from lack of, new and interesting stuff to do. I know, for example, I felt burnout before, especially when doing like the same boss over and over and over again. I was camping the Archglacier, and when it came out, I was having so much fun. I kid you not, I could not stop playing. I would get on and just streak and streak and streak, try to get the new drops. I was having a blast pushing in rage, and I did the Archglacier for a long time. And when you do something this much, eventually you're going to get burned out, especially if you have a dry streak. This is something I've seen tons of comments on my videos about. I've gone dry, I've been killing bosses, I can't get any drops, I'm just starting to get bored. And this is something that does happen that I've even dealt with. If you've seen my Road to Party yet, sometimes it'll take a while for me to come out with a video because I just can't get any drops. And this brings me to my first point in dealing with burnout, is to switch things up. So an easy way to switch things up is starting for instance, if you're PVMing, a new boss that you've never done before. This can give you the challenge of trying something new, also coupled with actually new content that you've never done, and lead to be more engaging and, have you not feeling as burnt out. But switching it up doesn't always have to deal with the boss you're killing or the activity you're doing, but it can also deal with how you're playing. So if you saw my recent episode of Road to Party Yet, I decided to switch it up. I had been using the ranged combat style for probably a year now, and I decided to switch and buy a bunch of mage gear because, one, I haven't used mage really in over a year, so it brought me something totally different to learn, something totally different to use, and kind of a different play style than I'm used to. And changing your combat style and what the main style you're using for combat will also open up a ton of new bosses because, some bosses are best with range, some are best with mage, so it kind of will bring you a more interesting, palette of bosses, if you will. But also, you don't need to just change up the boss you're doing. You don't always just have to change the, combat style you're doing. You can completely change the activity you're doing. For instance, sometimes when I'm feeling burnt out from PVM, combat, anything like that, it's nice to go and just do some clue scrolls. Clue scrolls will give you that, feeling of suspense that maybe you're going to get a really good drop. If you've never done them before, it's something different. If you're not, a huge clue scroller, you also have things to aim for, like going for the Globetrotter outfits, which will really help you out. It'll also give you collection logs to aim for, and will kind of open up, a whole new part of the game, which is something that will really help you deal with burnout. The same can be said for things like achievements or completionists. Maybe you're someone that doesn't really go for achievements or completionist things. Maybe you decide you want to change something and try something new. So maybe you try to go for the, Ultimate Slayer collection log, where you do a bunch of Slayer trying to get the rare drops. Maybe you try to go for some of the completionist requirements, Master Questcape, something like that. Having a goal is very, very good, which is another thing I wanted to touch on, which is having goals. Goals are a huge thing in RuneScape. They're a huge thing in life. I don't want to get off topic with RuneScape, but setting goals for yourself, either in RuneScape, in life, is going to help you kind of, get a feeling of achievement, but also help you, stay focused. One of the big things I learned that stuck with me in college, in business school, is you should set goals for yourself, but you should set realistic goals for yourself, because having a long goal out in the future, like let's say Golden Reaper, that is a big goal and something that is going to take you a long time to achieve. It's okay to have that goal, but setting smaller goals along the way is going to keep you way more engaged, because you're going to be hitting that goal. So let's say you want to get Golden Reaper in the future. Well, that's a good goal to set, but maybe you should set a few smaller goals in place first. Like maybe you want to get the Magister log, maybe you want to get a rare drop from Telos log for the first time. Setting those goals that are manageable, that are smaller, is going to keep you more engaged, because you're going to be hitting them, you're going to be feeling like you're progressing, and it's all around just going to help you stay engaged. You don't just have to set achievement goals, so you can set goals for basically anything. You can set goals for an amount of money you want to make, an item you want to buy, a different, ability you want to unlock. You can set goals for tons of things. It doesn't just have to be, I want to get this boss log done. You could set a goal for kill times. That's something that I haven't really dabbled into that much, but I know a lot of people, it keeps them really engaged with PvM if they're doing the same boss, saying, I want to improve my kill times at this boss by 30 seconds. It gives them a goal, and then they can, kind of try to craft a theory on how to basically, get those faster kills, and it, again, leads to being more engaged with the game. But what else can you do to, deal with this burnout or avoid this burnout? Well, another thing that you can do is just take a break. This seems very simple, but it's something that actually does help. Now, you may think, hey, you're a YouTuber, you upload like, 12, 14 times a month, you never take a break from RuneScape. Well, honestly, I kind of do sometimes. I like to play Steam games myself, and I have a lot of them, and even though I'm playing RuneScape a lot, sometimes I will take a break from RuneScape. Maybe I'm logged in still, AFKing something, maybe I'm not even logged in, but I do take breaks from RuneScape and play different games. Before I started YouTube, something I actually used to do a lot is switch between RuneScape 3 and Old School. Now, if Old School is not your thing, that's fine, but it was something for me that kind of gave me the best of both worlds. I'd play RuneScape 3 a ton, and then sometimes I'd go to Old School if a new league came out or something like that, and I'd end up playing the game and being super engaged. Like, I played Twisted League a ton when that came out, and I'd be like AFKing RuneScape 3 on the side or doing something else on RuneScape 3, or maybe not even logged into RuneScape 3, and then I'd be playing Old School, and then eventually I'd get bored with that, and then go back to RuneScape 3 and have a fresh mindset and be really excited to play the game again. So it's okay to take a break. It honestly is. Sometimes that is what you need. It's a simple answer, but it's true. So another way to deal with burnout that you can do that does work for a lot of people is maybe you have a main account like me, maybe you're max stats, maybe you've done a ton of PvM. There comes a point where you have completed a lot in the game. Now, this might not apply to you. Maybe you still have a ton to do. Maybe you haven't completed barely any boss logs, but you're still bored. This could help you. But this is mostly aimed at the people that have done a ton in the game, and that is to create a new account like an Iron Man or a Hardcore Iron Man. Now, this might not be your thing. For a lot of people, it isn't. But this is something that can, engage you if you're not used to that engagement. For me, I've been max for a long time. I haven't really played early game RuneScape in a while. So if you make an Iron Man, you kind of get to experience that stuff that you have not experienced in a long time. You get to play the early game. You get to go to areas that you've never gone before or haven't gone in a long time. You get to, do the low Slayer levels with the lower monsters. You get to aim for, new skills goals. If you've been max for a while, you get that, again, that sense of achievement because you're leveling up super fast, you're progressing your account. So making a new account ties in the new goals you're going to have and the goals you're going to achieve, but it also ties in the new play style that I was talking about, because if you've never done Iron Man, you think about the game a completely different way, and it's a completely different play style. So doing that can really help you avoid burnout and kind of start a new mission, a new goal with a completely different play style, which is something you can always check out if, you're struggling, to find having fun on your main, or you just want to try something new. Here's another thing that ties into goals, but I think it can help a lot of people find a lot more enjoyment. So this is trying to get something from scratch. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to do this on an Iron Man, but it sort of is like an Iron Man style, but not exactly. So I have a main account, I play my main account, that's how I've always really played RuneScape, but what I could do is try to make an item that I want from scratch, and this kind of gives me, again, switching up the play style, also including a goal. So let's say that you've always wanted, I don't know, a Eldritch crossbow. Let's say you really want an Eldritch crossbow. It's an upgrade you've always wanted, but you don't have enough money for it. Well, maybe set the challenge of yourself to try to get an Eldritch crossbow from scratch from Ambassador. Maybe you've never done Ambassador. Well, this will help you learn a new boss. This will also give you the big goal of getting an Eldritch crossbow, and you'll be having something to work towards that's not just a GP amount, it's actual items that you want to see drop to get this goal. It really does, make things a lot more interesting. This is something that you can do for other things, smaller things. It doesn't have to be a huge goal. You can do this for, I don't know, a Luck of the Dwarves. Maybe you don't have a Luck of the Dwarves yet and you want one. Well, you could go and do a ton of clue scrolls to get those fortunate components. Then you could, go get an Onyx and make that Luck of the Dwarves for yourself. You don't have to follow the complete Iron Man style rules. You can go and buy the Onyx. You don't have to go and, go to the fight caves and get an Onyx from the fight kiln or anything. But doing a from scratch style goal can also, give you something to work towards. Kind of like the same thing I've been saying this entire video, but it's just an idea if you don't want to, set a goal for a boss slug or something. From scratch is actually really kind of fun. Now, another thing you can do, maybe you're so used to playing RuneScape alone and maybe your friends don't play as much anymore, and this is something that has happened to me before. The appeal of RuneScape to me has always been playing with other people. It's a big thing. Although I don't do a lot of group bosses myself, something about having the game feel alive, having people there, having friends that I know playing RuneScape, being able to share drops that I get with them, compare our progress together, talk about what we're working on is a huge part of RuneScape. Think about this, if RuneScape shut down ever, hopefully it never does, but if it did, and you had the option to play RuneScape, but with no people on the servers, so you're playing RuneScape, but you are alone, nobody else, no updates, no people, no interaction, nothing like that, would you play as much? I know for me, that would be a resounding no. The game wouldn't feel as alive. I would probably still play a little bit because it's RuneScape, but having the people around you to kind of compare yourself to, compare your progress to, look for things to aim for, having your progress feel like it means something is the biggest part of RuneScape, at least for me. It's why I play most games. I don't play a ton of single player games, and the reason is because I like to feel that sense of not only community but achievement. If I'm achieving something in a single player game, I don't really have anybody to share it with, I don't have anybody to compare it with, and it doesn't feel as good for me. So community can be a big aspect of feeling engaged. So maybe if some of your friends quit or don't play as much, you don't really have many people to share your achievements with, joining something like a clan or a Discord or a community that you feel engaged with the people and you can meet new people to, share things with is a big aspect of avoiding burnout. At least for me it is. I know sometimes if my friends aren't playing as much or are playing a different game, then I kind of don't feel as motivated to play. I don't really have, the people to talk to about my achievements. They're not really actively going for stuff, but if a big new update comes out and all my friends are playing, it gets me really excited because we're all kind of doing the same thing. We can talk about things, we can talk about our strategies stories, new things we found. We can do content together. So a lot of that is, you know, based on your friend group, who's playing, and maybe if you don't have those people that you can, you know, talk to about the game, joining a clan or joining a Discord, like I said, can really help you out. Whether you want to join a PVM clan or a clan that's just people that you can talk to about different things. Now, I understand a lot of you pay for your membership with real money, which makes you feel like you're kind of obligated. You need to play because you'll be wasting money if you don't. And a way to continue basically playing while you're feeling burnt out or don't know what to do is maybe, you know, doing a skill or doing something AFK that will benefit you in the future that you really don't have to think about that much. So doing like an AFK money making method that you can really just not focus on. You can do other things, you can watch Netflix, you can maybe play another game on the side. You don't really have to think about RuneScape, but then you also don't feel like you're wasting your membership, or, you know, you should be playing and you're not, because I know that feeling can be big for a lot of people where they feel like they need to be playing right now. They shouldn't be wasting their time. They shouldn't be wasting their membership. So doing something like that AFK can really help you, especially if you're playing another game on the side. It can help you, know, feel excited and engaged about that game, but you don't feel like you're forgetting or neglecting RuneScape. So that's something that everyone can do as well. So there's a lot of ways you can avoid or deal with burnout, but like I said before, the simplest solution might just be to take a break, and it's something, like I said, that I've done before and can really help you feel refreshed. So I know this video was kind of long, and none of this was, you know, scripted or anything. This was me just kind of, you know, talking about the different points I wanted to get across, talking a lot about my own experience and what I've basically, you know, gone through before with burnout and stuff. When you're playing a game for 10 plus years, especially if you're like making YouTube videos on it, burnout can come in a ton of different forms and a ton of different ways, but I've dealt with it pretty good, I feel, using, you know, these tips, and I hope this can help you out, because I've gotten a lot of comments before like, I'm just bored with the game, I don't know what to do, I'm dry at bosses, I'm not having as much fun as I used to, I don't have any goals. So I thought this video could be a help to a lot of people, and although it's kind of a long ramble, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. I don't really do these videos that often, but for this topic, I felt like it was the right way to do it. So let me know in the comments, how do you avoid burnout? It may just be as simple as taking a break, but I'd love to know what you guys think. If you have anything that I did mention in this video that could help people out, feel free to leave that in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a like is always appreciated as it gets the video out to more people. If you want more videos like this, more RuneScape 3 content, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.